Hello everyone, welcome to sunny Ontario for today. The week that after this video is going to be released, it's supposed to rain and get cold again. It's like plus 20 here today. I want to show you guys around the hop yard, the asparagus, the rhubarb yard, the garden, the tree yard, the two greenhouses. So we have a lot to cover, so let's just jump into it. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk over what you guys see and show what things look like now and talk about my plans. I got honey on me still. Talk about my plans for this summer. So we're down here. So the house and the chicken coop's up there. For perspective, my shop's up there. Got my yard down here. Well, the field down here. And down here, we'll start over here. These here are my hop boxes. And hops are used to make beer. My brother-in-law makes beer. Now, I sit on this side, so I'm not in the sun, in the shadow. There's nothing coming up here yet. This will all be taken. Actually, you know what? There are. Look down here. You guys, can you see down in there? On top of my finger? It's like purple and green. I think you can see that, right? 4 different varieties here. So I got to come in here, clean all this up, this debris that's here. That's not going to come back. That all dies off over the winter. 4 different varieties. And what will happen is these will get strung up. This is about 12 feet or so, 12, 14 feet, 13 feet. Of course, the sun's right there above us, and we'll run lines straight down. I'll bring you guys back when we start doing that. These look really cool when they start growing. My beds here, I got a couple herbs on the end here. I think this is oregano, which you can even see some down here that kind of overwintered. Look at that. That's 100% oregano on the end. I got rhubarb, which is what this is. This is coming through already. This is this year's growth. A few rhubarb plants in here. You can see them, they're coming back already. And then here is my asparagus bed. All this needs to be cleaned out, of course. We just haven't really had warm weather, so I haven't been down here at all. But let's see if we can find any. I don't see any. It's been a little too cold yet for this. Rhubarb comes up much earlier. I don't see anything coming up, but the ground right now is very warm because it's like 20 degrees Celsius right now. So probably within by next weekend, I'm anticipating there being some up. And these are all just like fronds. So this year I might put some T-posts in and some rope around here so they don't lay over as much. But this year we can actually harvest some, because this is the 3rd year they'll be here. So these just kind of pull right out. The 3rd year that they're going to be in the ground, so they can easily be harvested. Some of it. Rhubarb were harvested a lot last year already, and the plants will continue to get bigger. Now we move over. Let's just jump into the garden real quick. The grass is greening up nicely. I won't be able to cut yet, even though I'm very much eager to cut grass in a few weeks, probably by the time May 1st rolls around, maybe. So the garden. So from the edge of the garden, there's nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. And then this goes all the way down. Got my burn pile down there. Then I have 2 rows here. I don't know if they look like anything. There's trees here. You can see the spruce trees. I got some pine trees. And these are all ones that I got from the town a couple years ago. On this side, these are all of my maples and oaks. And you can see they're going to start, see that? They're going to start budding out any day. And the objective here is I got to come back and weed all these, of course. Not a big deal. Is to let all these grow for a few more years, so they get maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet high. See which ones are going to survive, I guess. And then dig them out, and then start dotting them around the property. Now, we have a lot of woodlands around here, as you can see, but still, it'd be nice to kind of line the garden with some trees. This is the field that the farmer that we rent to, or that rents the land, this part of the field. This is about, I don't know, 15 acres or so that he rents it from us, as well as another. He rents in total about 65 acres. So this is maybe 10 acres. Anyway, he'll be putting corn or soybean in this year. But anyway, it'd be nice to kind of outline the garden as years go on. I could put probably about 10 trees along here, along this side, along here, etc. And then in here, this has to all be tilled up. I mean, the soil's soft right now, so I could get my tiller in here. We're just not quite there yet. There's no need to do that. You can't plant potatoes yet, too early anyway. And I'm gonna have some potatoes in here this year. I'm not sure if I'll do any beans or anything. They're gonna likely be done in my raised beds. So let's make our way over to the greenhouse. Now, I haven't grown in here since 2018. Been 3 seasons. This will be, I guess, the 3rd season now, because I haven't been doing markets. We had another baby. You guys know the story. If you don't, just ask. We can take a little trip in here. Hopefully there's nothing living in here. And it is hot in here. Holy jeez, it is hot in here. And I got some irrigation set up, you know, just from years ago. This used to be my propagation area. I had my hydro set up, and this is all hydroponic stuff. I also have some regular traditional raised beds, which I had tomatoes in here. Last thing that was in here were tomatoes, but I got to go through all this. And I'm not throwing this stuff out. These are just downspouts that you turn into rails. You have your little thing in here with your lines. There's nothing wrong. Like, this setup works. It's just I don't have the time to do it. Got some, you know, these are just downspouts so you kind of modify. Anyway, this all needs to be cleaned up. I want to take all of these apart, or at least the cross pieces, and move all of these over. Not that I'm going to be growing in here this year, but just for something to do. Like, all these pots, they're all warped because they're kind of just sitting out in the sun. And all this is just like disintegrating plastic, right? It doesn't last more than a year. Got a little wheelbarrow over there. And this used to be, I had cucumbers set up in here, which you can kind of tell. Another hydro setup. I mean, some of it's all kind of just rigged together, but I got my valve and I got my, I don't know, it's hard to explain what everything is at the moment. But I got all of it set up. My return line was over there. This used to be there. Anyway, so I want to clean all this up, and it's hot in here. Like, I'm sweating already. Oh, look at this. Something's been digging in here. I wonder what that is. It was. Wouldn't be surprised if there were rabbits or groundhogs in here over the winter. But that's fine. We'll get all this cleaned up. Maybe eventually I'll put a door on the end of this, which I've never done yet. But the structure itself is still sound. You know, it's still fine. But all these weeds, like, they'll all just come out when you pull them. It's just a matter of work. And then in here I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 16 by 3 foot raised beds. So there's a lot of beds in here. And this used to have various things in it, lettuces, and I mean, all this will just, if you have some gloves on, this will all pull out in some fashion. And what I want to do this year is I want to grow a little bit here. Maybe a box of, 2 boxes of tomatoes, 2 boxes of peppers, or maybe 1 box, maybe some cucumbers. My wife doesn't eat zucchini, so we don't eat zucchini here, but maybe a couple of zucchini plants, some eggplant, some beans or something like that. Just to have a little bit of something, some onions. And like, all these are just big weeds that the bees liked. But these have to get out of here. I mean, they just pull right out. It's just, it's a lot of manual work. So, which is not my favorite kind of work, but I mean, it is what it is. And then this greenhouse is what I actually put up as well. And this was a makeshift one from my other farm. And the hoops need to be readjusted, and, you know, just needs to be shored up. There won't be anything growing in here this year. But again, it's still on the list. Oh, here's a whole, I totally forgot that I had this shade cloth down here. I wonder if it's still good right here. Jeez. A lot of stuff that I kind of thinking, man, look at all that money laying there wasted. Yeah, I agree, but life happens, right? This is all raised beds. I got a raised bed here, a big one in the middle, one over there. T-post, I had cucumbers in here. I had pepper plants in here. And it did produce for the year that I had it. Like, it was fine. And I got a lot of junk. I got some old fans there that I'm pretty sure don't work anymore. I got old extension cords, just a lot of, you can say junk, because I'll say junk. A lot of junk in here that just got away from me over the years. Life happens. So the goal, after walking through all this, is to clean all these weeds up in some fashion. Clean all the weeds up, clean these beds up, at least the big greenhouse, go in there, clean it all out. And then just make this look a little bit nicer of an area down here. And then I have all my, this is kind of my old scrap wood. This will probably just stay here. It's not really in the way. No one sees this. We have no kind of curb appeal here because we're not at a curb. Like, the barn's all the way over there, and our driveway goes all the way down here. So, and over here is where I have my bees, which I was talking about earlier in another video. That, see how they're in the shade already? It's about maybe 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock. Still April, so the sun's not quite as high as it can go. But we are protected from the wind a little bit, but my thought is to put them out there. So they're in the sun a lot more. But then again, that might be too much sun. But then again, a lot of beehives are always out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a field, right? So we'll see. I gotta talk to my bee people, see what they think. But I have this nice area cleared for that. And I might expand, like, you know, if I have more hives, I could probably put 4 or 5 in here easily. And then I could just expand down this way if I really wanted to. And again, this is a lot of cleanup. This is a lot of manual. Like, underneath all of this is weed barrier. So a lot of the weeds that are here have grown on top of the soil that just has blown in from storms or whatnot, or has been splashed out or dug out from animals. So it's a lot of, you know, this going through here and pulling these out. This is the goldenrod, as I was speaking about in my bee video. This is what goldenrod looks like, and you let it go to seed, it just spreads everywhere. So a lot of work to come through here, but I'll eventually get it done. That's the big project, one of my big projects for the year. So now that we took a little walk around my, I guess, garden area, got the hops, asparagus, the rhubarb, the herbs, the greenhouse, the raised beds, the bees, trees. I got a lot of work to do, and I have a couple big projects I still have to do yet, or still have to plan for this year. I need to rebuild a gazebo on top of the deck that's at the barn. I'll hopefully take you guys along for that. And then a lot of mowing this year. You guys want to see mowing videos? I think it's kind of cool if I could try to make it work. I'd like to set up some mowing videos, show you how not straight my straight lines are with my zero-turn mower. But anyway, yeah, I got a lot of maintenance to do on my equipment, mowers, ATVs, weed eaters. You know, I'll bring you guys along for all that stuff. Even though there might only be, you know, 4 or 5 minute clips, but still something interesting about what's going on at the farm here. Anyway, if you guys have any questions or content that you want to see or things you want to see around the farm, leave me a comment below. You can also find me on Twitch, same name here, links in the description, TheOntarioGardener, where I'm hoping to do maybe some outdoor, like, just chatting, real life streaming. If I can get my internet to work out here somehow, I'm gonna try to do that. So make sure you head over to that page and give me a follow. But yeah, leave me questions or comments or interests of yours that you might want to see about the farm here. Do you want to watch me start a fire? I can do that. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification button so you don't miss anything. And I'll catch you in the next video.